Okay, hello everyone. My name is Christopher Praga. I'm from a morning class, and this time I will explain to you the exist. Okay, the exist is a part of pragmatic which come from the Greek word of the word is deiktos, which means the things of direct appointment. So the exist can also interpret as a word always change its referent depending to the condition or the context how that word was used. So now we come to the exist as reference. So the exist as a reference, words like I, here, now are deictic words. So word like this doesn't have a fixed reference. Unlike the case like word table, door, car, and paper. Whoever says that words always refer to the same thing, same time. So if you say table, it's always table, not refer to the car or the door. However, the reference like I, here, now can only be known by people who use it. Now we come to the deictic center. When someone say I'm standing here, they are using the deictic center to indicate their current location. From this speech or alone, they only know that I'm standing here is only the speaker and the person being greeted. So when you say this conversation between you and your friend say I'm standing here. So the know where the place he's standing, your friend standing is only you and your friend know. If you talk about to other people, like your friend say to your another friend, but he doesn't know where the place you and your friend and you will be meet. They doesn't know, so you say I'm standing here. Standing where? Okay. Next is classification of deixis. First is personal deixis. Personal deixis concern to the encoding of participant in speech, even which utterance in question is delivered. The category of personal divided into three: first person, second person, and the third person. Encode of the reference to the person that and entities that are neither speaker nor to address of the utterance in question. For example, she wants to get the best score in the final exam. The word she refer to woman, but may refer to another woman when other women say the same thing. So the word she is immutable, reference changing depending on who says. So the word she is singular from the subject pronoun, from the third person pronoun. Next is time deixis. Refers to the relative time which conversation or the conversation takes place. Time deixis will be very easy to know. A speaker and the addresses understand the time, the conversation, and the course of the conversation, the purpose of the conversation. There are several words that include time deixis, like now, tomorrow, today, month, last week, and afternoon. For example, I saw him last week. The word last week include the in time of deixis. The word last week refers to the exact time when the conversation being discussed, but that conversation is doing in the next weeks or today. Next, place deixis concern and the encoding of spatial location related to the location of the participant in speech. Place deixis can be seen from the use of demonstrative pronoun like this, that. Also can be demonstrative adverb like here and there. For example, there you go. The word there is a verb of the place, which refers to the place that is known by the speaker, and only the speaker know the meaning of that place. Social deixis is expressing or showing difference in a social characteristic between the speaker and the interlocutor. Or the writer and the speaker with the topic reference refer into the conversation. There are several examples in the social deixis language. When you respect from the person, including the title address, such as what your honor, your royal, or Mr. President. Another example of the social deixis is the use of the words dies, died, die, and dead to express the state of death. Each of these words is used differently. Next is discourse deixis, relates the understanding to use the use of expression in several conversations referring to the portion of the content. Discourse the conversation. A word can be called discourse deixis is refer to the definite part of the text where the reference are made in current. For example, example of this discourse deixis is previous, here, that, this, the following, next Thursday, last paragraph, the next chapter. Okay, example on the pronouns. I was born in Indonesia and I live here all my life. The next example is that was amazing day, or this was a great story. Here, and I was born in Indonesia refer to the Indonesian, since speaker was born and lived in Indonesia, while the word that refers to the day, like that was amazing day, so that is referred to day, and this referred to the story. On the pronoun this was a great story, this refer to the story, that story was great. Okay, next we're talking about anaphora. That's all about the classification of deixis. There are personal deixis, time deixis, place deixis, social deixis, discourse deixis. Okay, next is anaphora. Some descriptive words can also be used anaphora elements. A kind of secondary reference where the previous reference can be obtained using special function words. However, you can feel the he or she or it or they, sleep and fell into the floor. Let's for example, however, he slept and fell to the floor. The choice of he, she, it, or they is some reference of the recent discourse expression in this illustration to the referent expression in the previous sentence. Okay, the last is referential ambiguity. Occurs whenever a reader or listener cannot choose a clear reference of linguistic expression from the among multiple candidates. For example of the referential ambiguity, the pronoun is I know more smart girl than Vilma. Okay, this can be have two meanings. It's mean that this word or this pronoun is ambiguity. So this can have two meanings. That is, I know more smart girl than Vilma knows. Or it can also be interpreted that the girl more smarter than Vilma. This is refers to the girl that's smarter than Vilma. So the meaning is I, the first person, know more smart girl than Vilma knows. So he knows, for example, like Vilma knows that like two people that are smart, but the first person that I is know maybe like 5% that are smart than he knows. So he knows more the smart girl than Vilma. But it can also interpret by the girl is more smarter than Vilma. So maybe friend of I, the first person, say, hey, Vilma is a smart girl. But you know, I know that the person the more smarter than Vilma. So Vilma is smart, but I know the another girl that's smarter than Vilma. Okay, that's all what I explanation about the deixis. Thank you and see you on the next video.